U is nou 6 jaar die president van Suid-Afrika. Maar is baie duidelik dat u in hierdie 6 jaar 'n kleinserige president geword het. Suid-Afrika is nie geseënd met baie wêreldkampioene nie. U het die Springbokke geluk gewens en 'n paar ander goeie prestasies op wêreldvlak, maar u het nagelaat om vir Driekus Du Plessis 'n wêreldkampioen geluk te wens. Dis kleinserigheid van u, want hy het eintlik gesê en kritiek uitgespreek wat die meeste mense van Suid-Afrika weet, maar blykbaar weet u dit nie. Nou ek wil vir Driekus Du Plessis in hierdie parlement sê, baie geluk met jou wêreldtitel. Dis harde werk, baie dissipline en hard oefen. I think it's just natural that the president will look over his term, and I want to say today to him, Honourable President, what is your legacy? What's your legacy as President of South Africa? And therefore we must go and look at the real facts. And if we go and look at the economy, we will see that when you became the president in 2018, the growth rate, the economic growth rate was 1.3%. Last year, it was 0.9%. So under your leadership, the economy retreated backwards, causing havoc for the people of South Africa. We had a meeting with you as leaders on Eskom, and you yourself said 20 years ago, Eskom was seen as one of the best electricity utilities in the world. Who destroyed Eskom? The ANC destroyed Eskom. You were in charge of the war room to end load shedding. You failed. When you became president in 2018, the local currency against the dollar was nothing else than 11 Rand 55. Yesterday, it was 18 Rand 92. That's under your leadership. And if you go and look at the JSE and the loss of 22% in US dollars, while if you, for instance, look at the Nasdaq 100, they gained 147% under your term as leader, and the S&P 500 gained 75%. Those are the realities. If you go and look at the unemployment rate, when you became the president, the unemployment rate was 24%. It is now 32%. If you go and look at the youth, it increased with 20%, where the unemployment rate for the young people, the youth, at this moment is actually 64%. I want to talk about corruption. Honourable Chairperson, or Speaker, the President himself said that the ANC is accused number one when it comes to corruption. And I said, well, that's what the President said. And I said to yourself, but you are number one of accused number one. And now you have a number two who's also accused of corruption, but nothing happens. What happened with corruption in South Africa? The fact is that your Secretary General, Fikile Mbalula, he said that they lied to protect the former president in terms of corruption. They misused, the ANC misused its position to defend and to protect the previous president. Honourable President, if you look up at the wall there, you will see there's a banner of Parliament oversight and accountability. There was no accountability. There was no oversight. And it comes to you as well as the next president after Zuma. When they came to the Pala issue, it was this ANC in Parliament who protected you. Why? You said you did nothing wrong. Why didn't you come forward and be accountable to the people of South Africa? I want to quote what the Archbishop Stanley Makgoba said. He said, and I quote, "It is frightening to realize that as a society we've become so worn down by lies, corruption, and incompetence that we're no longer interested in finding out the truth. We've been captured by lies." Close quote. I want to talk about crime in South Africa. Honourable President, in terms of the Global Organised Crime Index, South Africa now ranks 7th in the world, 3rd in Africa, because of mafia-styled criminal networks and organised crime syndicates. The murder rate when you became the president was 35 per 100,000 of the population. It is now 45 per 100,000 of the population. U agbare president het in New York ontken dat daar so iets is soos plaasmoorde in Suid-Afrika. Ek moes 'n paar debatte met u gevoer het nadat u minstens erken het dat daar wel plaasmoorde is. En u het daarom 'n mate daarvan gesê dat u dit veroordeel. Agbare president, ons sê ons is almal gelyk voor die reg. My vraag is, wat het gebeur in Groblersdal? Die agbare minister van polisie en die agbare minister van justisie gaan woon 'n gewone hofsaak by waar daar besluit moet word of daar borg gegee gaan word of nie. Het hulle nie werk om te doen nie? Hoekom gaan hulle soontoe? Hulle gaan soontoe want hulle het 'n politieke motief. En daardie motief is om die voorsittende beampte te intimideer. Daar word nou van 3 jong mense verwag om te gerapporteer het. Hulle het gerapporteer. Ek het persoonlike klag gelê teen Julius Malema in 22 sowel as in 23 waar hy uitings maak van shoot to kill. And the revolutionary must not be scared or afraid to kill. Die klagtes is gelê. Hoekom word hy nie gearresteer nie? Dat hy ook gaan aansoek doen vir borg. U is besig onder u leierskap om ongelykhede te skep. Hierdie manne het hulle self gaan oorgee. Hulle is geregtig om borg te kry. Ek wil praat oor hongersnood. Agbare president, u departement van gesondheid sê dat meer as 15,000 kinders sterf jaarliks in Suid-Afrika. En 1/3 van daardie kinders sterf as gevolg van honger. Dit beteken 10,000 kinders sterf basies jaarliks weens honger. In KwaZulu-Natal, noord van Durban, is daar kinders wat sand eet sodat hulle net kan voel hulle het iets in hulle maag. But you, Honourable President, you have a plane named Inkwazi, and I want to say that there's also a restaurant in that plane, the Inkwazi restaurant, where you wine and dine at a rate of 24,000 rand per person. So you wine and dine for 24,000 rand per person in the Inkwazi restaurant while children of South Africa are dying because of hunger. You, the Commander-in-Chief, did you investigate? If you did, what was or what is the result? And if you did not investigate, why not? Because that means that you don't feel for the hungry people of South Africa. I want to say, and I again want to quote what the Archbishop said. He said, "Meanwhile, as politicians begin to realize they may not be in power after the next election, their deception, scams and fraud grow more blatant by the day as they grow hungrier and hungrier for the ill-gotten proceeds of power. They walk shamelessly and brazenly with their dirty feet through every aspect of our South African lives, close quote. I want to say again, with their dirty feet through every aspect of our South African lives. The message is clear, Honourable President. It's time to go.
Thank you, Honourable Member.